Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Syahla Ayu from Class A Indonesian Language and Literature Education Study Program 11 Maret University Surakarta. This time, I will present an argument about legal injustice in Indonesia. I made this video to fulfill the final semester exam for citizenship education courses. Enjoy watching! Indonesia is a country that uses Pancasila as the foundation of the nation and state. Pancasila contains 5 principles that animate each other, one of which its 5 precepts reads social justice for all Indonesian people. Its implementation is to become a state of law, meaning that everything a person does must be based on applicable laws and regulations. Law is the one of the important indicators in the implementation of a country. Each country has its own legal policy in accordance with existing agreements. The law must be implemented fairly, meaning that the law favors the right and there is a balance between rights and obligations so that no party feels burdened. Some people are able to obey the law well, but some are not. However, before the law, everyone's position is always the same. This is known as equality before the law. Order and legal certainty in society can be implemented because of law enforcement. According to Hikmahanto Juwono, in Indonesia, traditionally the legal institutions that carry out law enforcement are the police, prosecutors, judiciary, and advocates. Sudikno Martokusumo argues that in enforcing this law, there are 3 things that must be considered, namely legal certainty, expediency, and justice. Some of the factors that become problems in law enforcement include the law itself, law enforcement factors, facilities that support law enforcement, community factors, and cultural factors. Some of these factors can also be a measure of the effectiveness of law enforcement. Law enforcement in Indonesia itself has not run optimally and is still very far from what is expected by the community. This is because the law in Indonesia is one-sided, usually favoring those who have power of money. Laws in Indonesia are getting weaker. Many cases are handled unfairly and deviate from what is written or what is regulated in the law. For example, in this case of former Social Minister Juliari Peter Batubara, who was legally and convincingly proven guilty of corruption and was only sentenced to 12 years in prison and a fine of 500,000 million rupiah subsidiary. The sentence given to Juliari was judged not to be in line with the expectation of the people who thought that the sentence given was too light. However, the panel of judges reasoned that Juliari deserved a light sentence because he had received a lot of public insult. This makes anti-corruption activists view the statement of the judge as odd, because the panel of judges actually seems more sympathetic to corruptors than recipients of social assistance affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. If corruptors in Indonesia get a low sentence, the biggest possibility is that corruption will become more prevalent and the state's losses will increase. In fact, the number of state losses increased by 10.9% compared to the previous year. Based on data from Indonesia Corruption Watch, state financial losses due to corruption in Indonesia in 2021 amounted to 62.93 trillion rupiah. This figure is the largest in the last 5 years. Reporting from Kompas.com, another case of legal injustice in Indonesia occurred in 2018. Solina Sitorus, a 92-year-old grandmother in Toba Samosir, North Sumatra, was sentenced to 1 month and 14 days for cutting down a durian tree belonging to her brother, Chapaya Sitorus, to build a tomb his ancestors. His 6 children were dragged into the case and were sentenced to 4 months and 10 days in prison. This case attracted the attention of witnesses who had a house close to the scenes. The problem is they have never seen Jabaya plant a durian tree, which is the case in the case. Jabaya asked for hundreds of millions of money as a condition to pursue a peaceful effort from the loss of tree felling. However, economic factors prevented Salina and her 6 children from meeting these requirements. From the case of Salina and her 6 children, it is sufficient to provide evidence that in order to pursue a peaceful path or effort, a strong economy is needed. Money raised supreme illegal murders in Indonesia. In addition to the 2 cases above, there are many other cases which prove that justice in Indonesia is not guaranteed justice. No wonder many people feel that the law in Indonesia is bound up and sharp down. How come justice does not seem to favor those whose economic class is in the lower middle class? Money has a big influence on how long the guilty person will be sentenced to. There are 3 standards that must be used as the basis for cooperation between the government and society, namely equal opportunity, equal distribution, and equal liberty. Equal opportunity is an equality standard that emphasizes that the government can build a priority scale that is built with good reason and invites the public to formulate the priority scale. Then, equal distribution is a guarantee that the programs offered by the government are able to reach all people and are applied fairly. The last is equal liberty, namely the principles that the government and the people have the same position in obtaining their respective independence. Therefore, self-awareness is needed from each community and government to play an active role in law enforcement. Sorry for my bad English because I can speak English well. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you.